Imagine waking up on a planet where stepping outside for 2 minutes could kill you. Now here's the disturbing part. Humans are already planning to live there. Mars sounds like humanity's backup plan. A second Earth. A fresh start. But the reality is far darker than most people realize. Because the first people on Mars wouldn't be explorers. They'd be survivors. The journey alone feels impossible. Mars can sit over 400 million kilometers away from Earth. Even with our fastest spacecraft, reaching it could take months. Imagine being trapped inside a metal tube, isolated from Earth, knowing one tiny mistake could end everything. And that's before you even land. Then suddenly, you see it. A cold red wasteland. Silent. Empty. Dead. But here's the strange part. Mars actually has what humans need to survive. Just barely. The atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide. No oxygen. No breathable air. One breath outside without protection would destroy your lungs instantly. So how do you survive? By turning the planet itself into your life support system. Machines like NASA's MOXIE can literally pull oxygen out of the Martian air. The same toxic atmosphere trying to kill you becomes the thing keeping you alive. And that's when things get weird. Food becomes another nightmare. Mars has no fertile soil. Nothing grows naturally there. No forests. No farms. No animals. The first Martian settlers would grow crops in glowing hydroponic labs using nutrient-filled water instead of dirt. Fresh vegetables would become luxury items. Most meals would arrive freeze-dried from Earth. But that's not even the craziest part. Humans probably wouldn't live on the surface at all. The radiation on Mars is brutal. Without a protective magnetic field, cosmic radiation bombards the planet nonstop. Spending too much time exposed could slowly destroy your body from the inside out. So the first cities on Mars may look nothing like science fiction. No shining towers. No giant glass domes. Instead, humans could end up hiding underground like a civilization trying to survive the apocalypse. And what happens next changes everything. Living on Mars wouldn't feel like freedom. It would feel like living inside a giant survival experiment. Every single thing keeping you alive could fail. Your oxygen generator stops working, you die. Your habitat loses pressure, you die. Your water system freezes, you die. On Earth, nature keeps us alive without us noticing. On Mars, survival becomes mechanical, artificial, fragile. And this is where it gets weird. Mars is freezing beyond imagination. Average winter temperatures can drop below -55 degrees Celsius. Near the poles, temperatures crash to -153. Cold enough to freeze carbon dioxide straight out of the air. Suddenly, Earth's harshest winters start sounding comfortable. Even sunlight feels wrong there. The sun appears smaller from Mars. Dimmer. Weaker. Like a dying star hanging in the sky. And despite all that cold, Mars can still unleash planet-sized dust storms powerful enough to swallow the entire world for months. Not because the winds are deadly, but because the dust infiltrates everything. Solar panels fail. Electronics clog. Communication breaks down. Imagine watching the outside world disappear into endless red darkness while your survival systems slowly lose power. But the biggest shock isn't the cold. It's gravity. Mars has only 1/3 of Earth's gravity. At first, it sounds amazing. You could jump higher, carry heavier objects. Moving would feel almost effortless. But your body would begin changing in terrifying ways. Muscles weaken. Bones lose density. Your heart no longer works as hard. Children born on Mars might never adapt to Earth's gravity again. Think about that for a second. The first humans born on Mars may become a completely different version of humanity. A new branch of human evolution created by another planet. And that's when the entire mission stops being about exploration. Because Mars wouldn't just change where humans live. It could change what humans are. But that's still not the most unbelievable part. At some point, humans would stop trying to survive on Mars and start trying to transform it. Terraforming. One of the boldest ideas ever imagined. Scientists believe future colonies could heat Mars by bringing massive amounts of ammonia ice from other planets. As temperatures rise, frozen carbon dioxide trapped in the polar caps would turn into gas, thickening the atmosphere. Slowly, Mars would begin changing. And what happens next sounds almost impossible. Water locked beneath the surface could melt. Rivers might form. Clouds could appear. Rain could fall onto Martian soil for the first time in millions of years. Imagine standing on Mars while snow falls from an alien sky. But here's the terrifying twist. Terraforming Mars could take centuries, maybe even 1,000 years. Entire generations would live and die before the planet became remotely breathable. The first settlers would never see the finished world. They'd sacrifice their lives building a future they could never experience themselves. And that changes everything. Because maybe colonizing Mars was never about adventure. Maybe it's about fear. Fear that Earth won't survive forever. Fear that humanity needs an escape plan before it's too late. But there's one question nobody can answer. If humans finally turn Mars into another Earth, what happens when we make the same mistakes all over again? Because the real mystery isn't whether humans can survive on Mars. It's whether humanity deserves a second planet at all. And somewhere out there, beneath the silent red dust of Mars, that question is still waiting.